G'day ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bernard.
And I'm Darren. We're from the band Powderfinger, and we shall be your hosts for this evening of Rage, your TV viewing.
So the next few hours we're programming about 50 songs, so get yourself a beverage of some description.
Yeah, it's
and anything else you need to stay awake for a few hours or to maybe fall asleep on the couch. Who knows?
Although it's been about 10 years since we've done this, I think we've managed to select almost exactly the same songs that we would have selected 10 years ago.
So if you're around 10 years ago, just go to bed.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. Basically, it's going to suck.
it's still really good.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
The songs are so timeless, you should stay awake and watch them again. Good on you.
Hello, wild child.
There are a few things that we do agree on as a band.
Yes.
There are only a few things, but one of them happens to be this song by this particular band.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce?
When you're asked to program Rage, you're given a list of about 30,000 songs, and you have to pare it down to 50. And because Powderfinger always operates as a democracy, we got to choose 10 each. And because Darren and I are presenting, we just jettisoned the other guys and chose 25 each.
Yeah.
So
we'll give them this one, though.
Yeah, but we'll give them this one because they all chose this, I think.
Yeah.
And it's Berlin Chair by UMI. And they were one of the first bands that we went on tour with around Australia. And we have remained really good friends with them ever since. They were a really big influence on us initially, especially in terms of how powerful and electric their show was, their live show. It was at a time when Australian music was really starting to power, wasn't it?
Definitely.
People had a lot of self-confidence, and UMI were kind of at the forefront of that, I think.
Yeah, they always were, and they still are a great live band.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw them recently. They're still
Fantastic live
kicking
band.
ass up there.
Yeah.
And this
So-
clip is quite good too, actually, with the dancers.
This is a guy
It's in
dancing,
the
right?
warehouse. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple of dancers. So practice your moves, and
And
we'll
buy,
see you on stage.
buy a silver suit.
Yeah.
This is UMI Berlin Chair. The next song that I've chosen is by Wilco. They're one of those bands that I think have probably been really highly rated by other musicians, and a lot of the time, I suppose, by critics. They haven't necessarily enjoyed a lot of kind of mainstream success, but they write fantastic songs, the kind of songs that stick with you for a long time, and they kind of resonate through different times in your life. So that to me is one of the things that I always strive for as a songwriter, is to have songs that have got an enduring quality, and I find that definitely that's what Wilco have. And this is probably a bit of an unusual song for them because it's a little bit of a rock song, but normally their songs are a little bit more mid-tempo. But this is called I'm a Wheel, and it's by Wilco. Next song is by a Brisbane band called Seaplane. One of the members of Seaplane just happens to be a really good friend of mine, and that's one of the reasons for which I've chosen this song. But another reason is because I think there's bands like Seaplane all over the country and all over the world that are really unsung, and are kind of, in a lot of cases, are the heroes of the music industry, because they're the bands that are dedicated to music purely for the love of it. They don't do it as a job. They don't earn any money out of it. It costs them money to be in a band, to put on performances. These people that work all through the week or whatever, they play on the local level, and they contribute to music in their local scenes. And they're kind of the seeds of the entire music industry in every city around the world. And I think that they go unattributed a lot of the time, and I think that sometimes they should get played on telly.
The song is by an artist that we may know as Björk.
Yep.
That's generally how we pronounce the name.
That's been pretty established since about 1995 now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
rather
it
than
has.
Bjork.
Now, the song title that I've chosen, Yorga, J-O-G-A, Yorga. Yorga, we think that's how it's pronounced. But she's an amazing artist, I think. She's incredibly mainstream, but yet really hard to imagine how she became mainstream. The melodies are really unusual. The music is really powerful and engaging, and particularly this song. And the film clips are always, quite bizarre and interesting. This one's all landscapes and, Earth breaking up here and there and kind of going inside her at the end, I think. So.
And another one of those singers that has put her individual stamp on music.
Absolutely.
No one has been like her before, and unlikely they will be again.
She comes on the radio and you know who it is,
Exactly.
sort of thing. So enjoy it. Bjork.
Björk.
Björk.
Jäger. Yoga.
Well, I don't have too much to say about this song, except that it was about 1983. Band out of New Zealand called Dragon put out this song called Rain, and it's very 80s. You've got your guy with your guitar and a piece of plastic going from the headstock to the guitar.
That's right.
The purpose of it, I'm not quite sure, whether it's so you could carry your guitar like that.
Is everyone wearing a trench coat?
You've got your keyboard player with, his dark sunglasses on and the pea coat or the trench coat done and tight. Just
Is that because it's raining?
It's just so cool. No, it's not raining. It's just. But it's a song called Rain by a band called Dragon from New Zealand. So enjoy.
This next song is by Peter Gabriel. It's called Games Without Frontiers.
Sledge.
A lot of the songs that I've chosen in this guest programming today are videos that I may not necessarily have seen, but I love the song. So we're going on a journey together. You and us, Darren and I and you, everyone out there in TV land.
Sounds good.
Games Without Frontiers, Peter Gabriel. Most of the songs also that I chose because the singers have got some kind of brand of individuality about them, and they've put their own stamp on music at some stage, and I think Peter Gabriel's definitely done that. And I also recorded an album at his studio a few years ago, and he made me lots of cups of tea. So,
Earl
Peter
Grey?
Gabriel.
Earl Grey?
No, the funny thing is they were called PG Tips, which is the most famous tea in England.
Oh, very common
it's like
tea.
the Liptons of England, called PG, Peter Gabriel Tips.
Oh, hello.
So PG Tips, Games Without Frontiers. Next song is by Roxy Music, and it's kind of the second incarnation of Roxy Music, this song, called More Than This, which was when they became a little bit more keyboardy and a little bit more kind of mainstream, a bit more FM sounding, I suppose. But at the heart of it, this song is an incredibly beautiful love song, and one that it's about dedication, and he's basically saying there's nothing more than this feeling that we've got between us. There's nothing at all that can top it. And it's a really beautiful sentiment. I actually listened to quite a lot of Roxy Music before we made our latest record, Golden Rule. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to play a song by Roxy. So here it is. This is More Than This.
This again is a step back into late 70s, maybe early 80s when I was really getting onto it. Kiss cards at school, swapping them around. I was maybe in grade 4 or 5, so that's late 70s. Yeah. Anyway, Kiss were big. Oh, actually, the merchandise was big. I mean, we're in grade 4 and 5. Don't really understand music as such, but the merchandise definitely appealed to me.
Yeah.
So Kiss were out with a song called I Was Made for Loving You. We got Ace Frehley with his guitar with lights all over it, which really someone should do again. I should do it.
You should do it.
I should do it with a cape. Peter Criss.
What was your favourite Kiss card? Do you remember?
I don't actually.
I don't remember the number of mine, but I remember that it was Paul Stanley, and it was a close-up of his face, and he just had a cherry in between his lips.
Hello, ladies. Paul
Genius. What a romantic.
Genius marketing.
Just such a sexy man. I think it was close-up of Head and Shoulders, so you could see you could see the carpet as well. It was just growing from down here.
That carpet went for
grew
days
right
too.
up to here, and then his face was just beautiful, and he had a cherry in between his lips with the little stem sticking off it.
Yes, hello ladies. It's lovely. So enjoy the song. It is pretty timeless. This is I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. Well, this next song is by a band called Painters and Dockers, and I hate to say that what attracted me to this song was the fact that they just all got nude in it, which I thought was pretty interesting and funny at the time. It's a song called Nude School, and one by one their clothes disappear from their bodies, and there's pigs there in the farm. I haven't seen the clip for a long time. I think it's probably still a really cool song too.
It is. It's a great song.
We're all going to nude school. Nude school's where
It's a really good song.
Yeah.
I think they were probably taking the piss, but they accidentally wrote a really good song. They had heaps of good songs, actually, Painters and Dockers, and they were also one of those bands that, like the forerunner of Tism, I suppose, who kind of came along and just put shit on absolutely everyone that they could lay their hands on. So
The Donkey Boys, that was another band I saw on Rage, I think. Another band who took their clothes off. We'll never do that though.
no, we would never do that.
That wouldn't be a good idea. But,
Too old. Should have done it 20 years ago. Would have sold millions probably.
yeah.
When we were all ripped, washboards. Did any of the Painters and Dockers looking pretty ripped?
I don't remember them looking very buff.
They've been down to all fitness before the clip.
I'm not sure that they've had washboards on their stomachs.
Peter Andre style. I got told a story about Peter Andre doing a clip, and he was using the weights from the grips stuff to pump up in between takes.
Yeah.
No wonder he looked so hot. Father of the Year.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for filmmaking though these days, I think. Just before a scene which requires...
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm speaking from experience, I suppose, so that does count for something. Enjoy the song.
I'm Bernard.
I'm Darren, we're from the band Powderfinger. And if you're sitting in front of the computer now watching Rage, well, you're on Rage, but get outside. I mean, after Rage is finished, get outside and do some exercise, because computers, they're bad for you.
You're going to get heart disease.
After
Put that
Rage.
cigarette out too.
Yeah.
And
that
have
Coke.
some chewing gum, you filthy animal. G'day viewers. I'm Bernard.
I'm Darren, we're from the band Powderfinger.
And you've been watching our selections tonight from the Rage catalogue, which goes down your arm, down to the floor,
Yeah.
straight up there,
Yeah.
around the back, out the door, down a circular key,
Yeah.
back up,
Yeah.
back up here, and back up your arm. And that gets to 30,000 up there on my massive bicep.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big these days, isn't it?
That wasn't sincere. Sorry, it's not that big.
Now, so you've sat through all of those songs. Now you have to sit through a whole heap of Us, which will send some of you immediately to sleep. It's probably what you've been trying to have happen most of the night, but...
Well, the first one's not to put you to sleep sort of clip, though.
No, this
Passenger?
one's to send you deep into the vortex, actually.
The idea for the clip actually came from Ian, I believe, the other guitarist, the rhythm guitarist for the band. I can do that. It was his idea, and we're travelling in suitcases. There's a whale in space, and
It made absolutely no
interesting.
sense on paper, and then it was made into a video,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. And I think if you can hang on till the very last shot, I think we ran out of money, so we had no money to do the last shot, which was like a CGI thing. And because we're a band that's been around for a long time, this was in 1998, I think, and computer graphics weren't very well developed in those days. And so the clip is awesome all the way through. We're wearing tracksuits and everything.
I mean, the
We were
whale
like
in
fully
space.
hip hop and everything.
It looks
in those
real.
days.
It was
all
real.
looks real. And then you get to the very last shot. It's the end. You're going, my God, they've made such a good clip. And the last shot is just a stinker. So make sure you hang around to see how shit it is. This is Passenger.
Ian's more than just a rhythm guitarist, by the way, I should say.
Yeah, he's also backing vocalist in this. Watch Ian singing the la 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 la's very carefully in this
That
song.
started a whole...
Started a
it's
whole...
a lot of trouble for Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, enjoy. This is Passenger.